Most people think strength looks loud. They think power means having the last word. They think confidence means explaining yourself until everyone understands you. But here's the uncomfortable truth no one tells you. The more you explain yourself, the weaker you appear. Think about it. Every time you justify your choices, defend your emotions, or argue to be understood, you hand over control. You give your peace to people who may never give you respect. You spend energy on noise instead of direction. And it's exhausting. You replay conversations in your head. You wish you had said less. You wish you had stayed calm instead of reacting. In a world addicted to noise, scrolling, opinions, and instant reactions, silence feels almost unnatural. But what if silence isn't weakness at all? What if silence is the highest form of strength? This is the Stoic secret few truly understand. Silence, when used correctly, becomes your greatest strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." That line hides a deeper truth. The Stoics believe that real power is internal. Not in convincing others, not in winning arguments, not in emotional reactions, but in self-mastery. Seneca warned that people lose control not because events overpower them, but because they speak before they think. Epictetus took it even further. He taught that we should have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, because listening and restraint are more powerful than speech. Stoic philosophy never told us to become passive or silent all the time. It taught us to speak only when our words improve the silence. Silence, to the Stoics, was not absence. It was discipline. When you stay silent instead of reacting, you create space. When you pause instead of defending yourself, you keep authority. When you don't explain yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you, you protect your inner strength. Modern psychology confirms what Stoic wisdom already knew centuries ago. Neuroscience shows that emotional reactions are driven by the amygdala, the brain's threat center. When someone challenges us, criticizes us, or disrespects us, the amygdala pushes us to react immediately, to speak, defend, justify, attack. But silence interrupts that loop. When you pause and say nothing, the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for rational thinking and emotional control, takes over. This is where self-mastery lives. This is where calm confidence is built. Studies on emotional regulation show that people who pause before responding experience less stress, better decision-making, and stronger perceived authority. Silence signals control, not confusion. This is why the most powerful people in any room often speak the least. They don't rush to explain. They don't argue every point. They don't waste energy proving themselves. They let silence do the work. The power of silence lies in what it communicates without words. It says, "I am not reactive." It says, "I don't need validation." It says, "I choose when to engage." Stoic silence creates psychological distance. And distance creates dominance, not aggressive dominance, but quiet authority. Now let's make this practical. First, stop explaining your decisions to people who don't live with the consequences. You don't owe everyone a story. The Stoics believe that external opinions are outside your control. Explaining yourself to satisfy them is a losing game. When you feel the urge to justify yourself, pause and ask, will this explanation change anything? If the answer is no, silence is strength. Second, master the pause before response. This is one of the most powerful Stoic practices. When someone provokes you, criticizes you, or pushes your emotional buttons, don't respond immediately. Breathe. Count to 3. Let the emotional wave pass. That pause shifts control back to you. It turns emotional control into a habit. It trains mental discipline. Silence in that moment is not surrender. It's strategy. Third, speak only when your words add value. The Stoics believe that unnecessary speech weakens the mind. Modern psychology agrees. Talking too much often comes from anxiety, not confidence. Before you speak, ask yourself one question. Does this improve the silence? If it doesn't clarify, strengthen, or calm the situation, let silence speak. Fourth, use silence as a boundary. When someone tries to pull you into drama, arguments, or emotional chaos, silence becomes a shield. You don't need to announce your boundaries. You enforce them by not engaging. This is especially powerful in a world addicted to reaction. Silence starves conflict of fuel. Fifth, practice silent confidence daily. Walk slower. Speak less. Listen more. People feel calm authority before they hear words. This is not about appearing mysterious. It's about being grounded. The more you practice Stoic silence, the more your inner strength grows. You stop chasing approval. You stop explaining your worth. You stop leaking energy. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that other people's actions are reflections of their own minds, not yours. When you stay silent, you honor that truth. Silence is not avoidance. Silence is mastery. In modern life, where everyone is shouting to be seen, the one who stays calm, composed, and deliberate stands out instantly. Silence becomes presence. Silence becomes power. And here's the paradox. When you stop explaining yourself, people start listening. Not because you demand attention, but because silence commands it. This is the Stoic secret. Not loud confidence. Not endless words, but controlled, intentional silence. So the next time you feel the urge to react, the next time you want to justify yourself, the next time you feel misunderstood, pause, say less. Let silence become your greatest strength. Which phrase will you try first?